Yesterday, we introduced Simon Peter Longoli, who was charged with defiling a minor and was reportedly diagnosed as HIV-positive. Following the charges, the court remanded him to Nakifuma prison and later to Chitalia Minimax prison.
Where also in Nakifuma, I was accompanied with a medical report on my transfer form notifying Chitalia Minimax that I'm sick, I'm a client. So they should count me among the inmates who are on art clinic. Reaching Kitalia, I was subjected for PF24 for other tests, but I was negative.
On the police file, it was indicating that the status was positive. But it is a precondition that prisoners on entry, we test them. His results came out negative, which posed a question mark. Then court ordered a fresh examination, which still confirmed that the man was negative.
This new development would later lead to an amendment of his charge sheet, raising further questions in his legal battle.
I don't know whether they based on what I was questioning them, that I'm being held unlawfully and the injustice which is in the country.
Simon Peter Longoli's transfers continued.
And following his announcement, inmates were supposed to be taken back where they came from. I expected me to be taken to Mukono or to Kampala near my area of jurisdiction. But instead, I found myself in Nakasongola government prison, where I was kept from June 21 up to February 2022.
After repeated requests to be moved closer to his area of jurisdiction, Longoli was transferred to Makshin Bay Prison in Luzira.
I started logging my complaints from there to the DPP, Kampala, to the Principal Judge Flavian Zaija, to the chambers of the Chief Registrar. There was no reply from there, apart from receiving a received copy of complaints. Just putting a stamp. Yeah, they send a letter to upper prison. They call me, they give me that your complaint has been received, but no reply. Only once when the Principal Judge Flavian Zaija copied a copy to Mukono Deputy Registrar, ordering Mukono circuit with immediate effect to put me on session, which also Deputy Registrar Mukono didn't implement.
Then, months later, his name appeared on a list of plea bargaining. He says an earlier proposal carried a 15-year sentence, which he declined.
I was called before the OC, convincing me to go to Mukono. I boarded a bus from Upper to Mukono. Reaching Mukono, I got lawyers. That was Kumbuka Richard and Company Advocates from Ntinda. The guy who was convincing me to go sign 15 years imprisonment, a sentence of 15 years. I told him I cannot sign 15 years. I did not come here for plea bargain.
But after years on remand, Longoli agreed to a lesser sentence under a plea bargain, a decision he says made it possible for him to regain his freedom.
In July 2023, that's when they brought a camp meeting for plea bargain, which was also chaired by the delegates from judiciary, accompanied by the Chief Justice Alfonso Dorowini, and also the Principal Judge Flavian Zaija, and also the Regional State Attorney of Mukono, Naruze Aisha. And on the same plea bargain, there was also the head of the DPP, Francis Yanabodo. But remember, by that time, among those, before those delegates, prison could not allow us to have questions over them.
After serving his sentence, he was able to leave prison, leading him to a different battle.
The other case of assault died like that. I was not sentenced over that case, and it was not dismissed. So I don't know how the case died. And moreover, the magistrate remanded me. So it was prison now holding me on one warrant of aggravated defilement.
While in prison, he sought solace in education.
After coming out from prison, I then enrolled for further studies. So I was doing a diploma in entrepreneurship under Makerere University Business School, Nakawa.
Fortunately, even inside the prison, he continued with education. He benefited from the education scheme, whereby the MOOBs do the voluntary work. So, and I urge him to continue and finish.
For a time, a friend offered him temporary shelter and support at mobs as he continued his studies, which proved to be a ray of hope to his prayers. When the semester ended, returning home after years away reopened old wounds for Longoli.
For that period, I had stayed in prison without checking my people. I lost my mother in 2022. I went back to Moroto. Reaching there, I got some people died, some people, my relatives are alive, those who are alive. But also, as you know, Karamoja, things are not well.
An ex-convict, Longoli says finding employment proved difficult. Applications for jobs as a waiter and supermarket attendant were also unsuccessful.
So I go and I wash clothes for people. That's the easiest work. And did I get that work and I do. Sometimes I get 10, sometimes I get 7,000 to push on my life.
Longoli says it has been painful to rebuild from scratch, especially over conviction he maintains was unjust.
I was arrested on 27th of September 2020 by Rugazi police station. Was taken to prison, sentenced to 6 years imprisonment, and I finished my sentence on 24th of September 2025.
Tomorrow, we bring you the last part as Simon Peter Longoli continues to seek justice. Betty Modondo, NTV.